Vibe check. How we doing? What's going on? My name is Andrew. Welcome to the Lens Rentals channel. Today, I've got some exciting lenses in my hand. These are my go-to RF primes for run and gun videography. Now, these aren't cinema lenses, but that does not disqualify them from having a great use case for videography. So in today's video, we're going to break down a little sequence as well as look at the autofocus and lens characteristics of each lens, and we're diving into it right now. The very first thing you're probably wondering is, why are we looking at primes when zoom lenses are available, especially the great zoom lenses from Canon? Admittedly, I use those lenses a lot, but there are some benefits with using primes that I really do enjoy, with the first one being your flexibility in your aperture. Specifically, let's look at the 35. The 15 to 35 zoom lens that Canon offers is an f2.8. while the 35mm prime that they have is a 1.8. But Canon, we're still waiting on the 1.2. What's going on? Another benefit I'd say is the weight and size of these lenses. The 16 and 28mm lenses are tiny. They're like almost pancake lenses. They're so small and so light, though I will say they do feel a little cheap. Outside of these two things, there are some other just practical things that you may experience when using prime lenses, specifically better low light capabilities, more elements in aperture blades, which means a better image. All of these things can be found while utilizing prime lenses. So in that breakdown, you might have noticed that there was some fluctuation with the autofocus. I spent a lot of time switching back and forth between autofocus and manual focus on the C70. We know that this camera is not known for its autofocus, and I always recommend when shooting video, if you can, use manual focus to do so. But autofocus is convenient, and I don't look down at it at all. So next up is an autofocus test with each lens. I'm not going to talk too much over this. I'm going to let the test show you exactly how each lens handles the autofocus. I will say, though, that the settings I had on my C70 allowed for tracking, with my tracking speed set to +1 for just a little bit of a snappier response. That being said, a lot of the autofocus also is determined by the motors in the lens. The smaller lenses, the 16 and the 28, made a little bit more noise than the other lenses when autofocusing. I believe that's just because they're small and there's just a little motor inside pushing that focal element in and out to get focus. I feel like all the lenses, though, handled autofocus pretty well if the subject was well lit and if they had a face to track, which was some of the issue that we ran into down in the canning facility. And honestly, the only really failure here is the 100mm. Check this out. My last test with these RF primes is going to be looking at lens characteristics, quality of the image, as well as bokeh characteristics. And a quick note for anyone who's missed a few of our lens tests, the things that we're looking for are first and foremost the corners of the lens. Do we have smooth and even bokeh? Or do we have any color distortion or aberrations, things like that? We are then looking at the center of the image to make sure that where we are focused is indeed sharp. One thing that you will notice with these tests is that lenses that can stop down, 1.6, 1.8, are great, but they may be a little soft in those areas. And when it comes to looking at bokeh, really what we're looking for is just good separation between the subject and the background. And that's all I have today with these RF primes. I dig them. I like them. I do see their limitations, especially in the lower models. All that being said, though, these are still great primes, and these are still primes that I would recommend. I love having the flexibility with aperture. I love the small lenses. I love how lightweight they are. And in regards to image quality, I really feel like they do well. Canon has really locked it in with this RF glass. All right, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I look forward to reading about your experiences with these RF primes, and I will see you in the next one. All right. Peace.